welcome again to the BOONIES School of Abundance. Just in case you guys don't already know, the factors that go into your credit. Because first we need to get your credit good, whether it's for your personal self or for your business. And then we go into getting funding to put into whatever business you're trying to do or to invest in some real estate developing. Which to me, again, I'm going to always repeat this so you understand, is the best way for you to make passive income. It's the best way for you to make generational wealth. It's the best way for you to make a good six-figure income as an investor, as a business owner, without having to do any type of work or killing yourself. The only work you got to do is to first invest in yourself to get your credit where it needs to be in order to put that money into the things or the products that's going to make you money. And for me, it's credit services like the business that I own, where everybody needs their credit fixed or need to understand the power of credit or how to make it strong. Everybody needs that. And then everybody needs a direction or a guide into helping them how to take that credit, having good credit, and materialize it into actual income, right? So the things that make up your credit is your payment history. It counts for 35% of your credit, right? Then you have the amount owed, right? And then you have the length of credit. I'm gonna go over them and then I'm gonna explain to you what each one of them is. Then you have new credit, and then you have credit mix. Now your payment history is based on late payments. Now how you trick your payment history. Say, for instance, the payment is due on the first of every month, right? But you don't have the money. You have 30 days. You can be late because it will only reflect internally. Say whatever bank that is. Say it's Bank of America, right? You have a credit card with. You can be late with Bank of America, but you can't be more than 30 days late, because if you're more than 30 days late, it's going to show up on your credit report that you pay more than 30 days late. They have 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and 120 days. And I think up to 150 days. Then after that, they write you off. So you got to say, okay, even though it took me 30 days till my credit card was due, I got another 30 days. And make sure you pay it before the second 30 days. The first 30 days is like, I used the card today, I got 30 days to pay it. Then I missed that payment because I didn't have the money. And I got 30 days. So make sure you pay it within the 28th day before it shows up. Because if you're more than 30 days late, it puts on your credit bad. So payment history. Keep your payment history good. Between 98 and 100%. Good payment history to excellent. 98 to 100. You missed two payments, you're going to try to go there and get that rectified by filing credit disputes to get those missed payments off. Now, amount owed, debt to income ratio. Say for instance, I got $100,000 in credit cards, right? I got 5 credit cards, $20,000 each. Now I'm using $80,000 of it, which means I'm using 80% of that credit card. So then when it reports, if I don't pay that up, it keeps reporting I've used 80% of that credit card. It drops my score. So that's why I call amount owed. So you got to say, okay, I got 80% of my credit card. I'm using only 20. Say it's 100,000, I'm using only 20,000. It shows that I'm using only 20%. But basically amounts to 30% of your card. So try your best not to utilize too much of your credit cards, and try never to let it report that you're using over the amount that is issued as credit. So say one of your cards is a $1,000 credit card, but then when it reports, it says that you're using $1,500 or $1,050, that you're using more than 100% and you're not paying it on time. It's negatively reflecting on your credit. So try to keep it under maxing out, because that's called max out, and you're beyond the max out point. Max out is when you max out to the amount that the card is available to you, and then you're beyond that. Sometimes you go beyond that because they charge you a late fee, and the late fee brings it beyond that. Or sometimes a credit card you will go buy gas. Say you only have $20 in your credit card. When you go to the gas station and you put in a card, it only authorizes $1 on your card. But then you could fill your tank for $100, and then it will hit your credit card. Your credit card company will pay it sometimes. So when they pay that, now that's where your negative comes in. And if you don't pay your credit card on time, it's going to reflect negatively. So length of credit history amounts to 15%, right? So the length of your credit history is based on how long you've had your credit cards. I've had this card for 2 years, whatever. You can also, I call it rigging, the length of history by utilizing authorized user cards. So you could go on any one of those, Trade Line Supply, GFS Group. You can use any one of those trade line companies and look for a card that has 10, 15, 20 years with $20,000 on it. You're going to spend up to $1,000, sometimes even more. But that's the way of tricking the system to get your length of credit card history longer. Because you might have just started building your credit like a year ago or maybe a couple months ago. But it doesn't show enough length of history to get your score up to the 800. Because remember, all of these things makes up the 800 or the 850 credit score. And if they're not right, then it'll only give you a little small, it will give you small numbers. You'll be in the 600s forever and wondering why you're still in 600s. It's because your length of history is not strong enough. It's brand new, right? You're using too much of your credit cards. In this one, payment history will mess up your credit real bad. So be mindful of that. And then new credit. A lot of you guys like to go out there and apply for all these $500 credit cards. You got $1,000 here, $500 there, $700 there. Stop doing that. Get your credit above a 680, get it above a 680 to a 720, right? Once you get it between those numbers or a little bit above 720. Above 720, it puts you in a good credit standings, right? So 720, I think to like 800, 799 gives you good credit. Excellent credit is 800 to 850, which actually 720 to about 750 is good. 750 to 800 is very good. And then 800 to 850 is excellent. So new credit, it's better you apply for 1 or 2 credit cards within the last year or two that has 10,000, 20,000 on it versus getting 5 cards for the same 20,000. Because then it looks like you're just shopping around and this guy's hungry for credit card. What is he going to do? Max them out, not pay them? It's a thought. So build up your credit score so it's high enough. Make sure that you're not utilizing too much of your history. Right, you're utilizing too much of your credit. Make sure you're not paying bad, and make sure that you have a bunch of authorized users that will stretch out the history, give you a longer history. Now, and that's how you do with your new credit cards. Every year or twice of the year, you apply for high limit cards 2 times for the year. It's better to have 1 card that has 20,000 than has 5 cards with 10,000. You get what I'm saying? 1 card. It shows good. So when you try to get like loans and lines of credit, they'll lend you because it won't seem as if you owe 5 different people money. It'll just be one person. And that's how it works. It doesn't matter if it's $1,000, $5,000, but you owe 5, 6, 7 different people money versus one person, $20,000. So if they've come in as a second person, it's easier for them to say, okay. And then credit mix. Credit mix is the different types of credit that you should have on there. Okay. Say you have what's known as primary. Primary is when somebody issues me a credit card with a certain limit on it. Like you give me $1,000 credit card, $500 credit card, $20,000 credit card, right? Then authorized users. I could purchase an authorized user. Somebody added me to their card, or I could go online and make a purchase for AUs. And then what's also known as credit mix is a car. Say I finance in a vehicle or I'm leasing a car. It shows up on my credit. Those things help out. But remember, be mindful of running your credit at the dealer when you go to get a car. You go online, you look for a specific bank, you apply with them, make sure your credit is good. They're going to approve you for a certain amount. For the car, some will give you all 60,000. You could go buy whatever car you want at that point. But don't be unreasonable when you first start building out your credit. Don't say I want no Bugatti, Lamborghini, type of stuff like that. That's ridiculous. Wait till you have money. Wait till you start doing these real estate flips with us, and you're seeing that you're bringing in $200,000-$300,000 a year, and then you say, you know what, I'm making $200,000-$300,000 a year. I could go ahead and go apply for a Bentley, a Lamborghini, or whatever. But keep your car under $60,000 when you're first starting out, especially with your credit in the building stages, right? And then you could use your lease, your mortgage, because if you rent, you have a thing called rent reporters that you could put your rent on there, and every time you pay your rent every month, they report it, and that adds it to your credit. It helps build your credit. Your light bill all help build your credit. Your Comcast bill all help build your credit. All of your subscriptions that you have, Netflix, all these things, they all help build your credit. Those help with your credit mix. So you can add all of those things to show that you're responsible, that you pay all your bills on time, all that stuff. And that's what helps with your credit mix. So when all of those things are in good standing, then your score is 800 to 850. Excellent credit. With excellent credit, you get access to unlimited sums of money. And that's where you need to get your credit at. to that point where you get access to the unlimited sums of money. And once you know how these things work, because these are what make up your credit score and which ones play the biggest role, payment history, everybody wants to know that if I lend you my money, you're going to pay it back on time. That's what matters to me. If I give you this bread, are you going to pay me on time? Because I fall victim to that. I've been loaned money before and something happened and it took me forever to give the money back. You know what I mean? So I fall victim to that. And sometimes the circumstances outside of yourself is not necessarily you, but try your best to make sure that when it comes on to credit cards, you make sure that your payment history is good if you want to keep getting more money. It's the same thing with people on the street. Somebody lend you money and you don't pay them back on time, don't expect that they're going to be eager and willing to lend you more money in the future because you took forever to pay them back. All right? So that's an understandable situation. Unless you make sure that you put yourself in a position where you don't never need to borrow again once you pay back, you know, you have money coming in from multiple different sources, then sure, you know what I mean? Then it's like, okay, I messed up. At least you got paid back and we're good now, but I won't borrow from you ever again because I won't want to feel as if, you know, it's going to be a stretch for me to get that money. I'm going to try to find a different source that I didn't have an issue with in the first place. But those are the things that make up your credit score to help you be able to access funding to do whatever you want to do. So I hope you guys got that today, and I hope I broke it down good enough for you for a good understanding. You guys have a blessed and marvelous day, and I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. You got a lot of gifts, a lot of blessings, and I'm wishing you a marvelous Happy New Year. All right, guys.